Any and all content provided by me contains my own speculative opinion on the market. As such, this content should not be used to make trading or investment decisions. The market is extremely volatile, and the decisions you make should be based on your own due diligence. If you should make a trade or investment decision based off the speculative content that we provide, this disclaimer legally relinquishes me from any and all responsibility. Past market performance is not indicative of future market results. Trading in any market is extremely risky, and you should conduct your own research and analysis before making your own trading or investing decisions. And before I get started, I actually do need some water real quick. I got a little bit of dry socket. Welcome to the weekend! Well, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome back to the Blackfire Technical Analysis YouTube channel. I hope everybody had a very productive week this week. We do have a couple of things to cover on a couple of the markets today. A lot of exciting, price action movements within a couple of the big three, and Bitcoin and some other cryptocurrencies as well. And more or less some boring price action on a couple of other of the markets that we're going to be checking out today. But it's Friday. I'm excited that it's Friday. I'm going to try to keep this stream a little bit on the shorter side because I want to hang out with my lady. And without further ado, I guess we'll go ahead and fire it up. Fire it up. Let's go ahead and take a look at Nasdaq here. Let's get inkling of what's really going on right now. Seeing a little bit of pullback after a new all-time high has been set. Nothing out of the question. Nothing too concerning. I can actually go ahead and put a little bit of a resistance level up at this region here because we do have new tentative resistance technically. Although that's a real tight region here, and to be quite honest with you, but nonetheless we do have new all-time highs. I still am looking for the one spot 272 Fibonacci extension to be the next target here for Nasdaq, somewhere around 15,470 over the next week, 2 weeks, give or take. A little bit of, every time I start talking, man, my throat gets dry. I do apologize. I do apologize, but looking at Nasdaq here and the way everything is shaping up right now, I'm still massively bullish. I mean, we go over here, look at stochastics here, seeing continuation drive, printing new highs from a stochastics perspective. I don't see any reason why the exponential won't follow suit on the next tick here, coming into Monday's candle open. But this is just indicative that the bulls have absolute control right now. We actually have do we have a trend? Let's look for a trend. Do we have a trend? I mean, yeah, we have a 2-point touch here. Again, I'd rather see three touches on a structure like this, but provides the theory that, hey, we might have a 3-point at some point in formation, but 2 points is good enough for me. 2 points is good enough for me to consider this valid. I do like the way Nasdaq still looks. The disposition is more or less the same for Nasdaq here. I know I have a lot of horizontals put in place right now, but my main disposition is this. As long as we're seeing price action close candles above that yellow 21 exponential here, I have no reason to be looking for any kind of significant pullbacks to the downside. Actually seeing the yellow 21 exponential line up with this major base of support here, I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of this region, make it a little bit less convoluted. But from a technical standpoint on Nasdaq, we do see a technical break of support here. We do see this daily candle closure below the all-time high breakout point, so that does suggest a little bit of a pullback. That's why I had this level here highlighted as support. I do think price action has the potential to see a little bit more of a pullback to this region. However, momentum oscillators do not tell me that story. Momentum oscillators actually telling me that we're still on a bullish run. Actually, a little bit of concern, in my opinion, showing on stochastics here. We do have a series of lower highs forming, providing the basis for bearish divergence. If this, if we see price action take out this candle closure here on the 4th of August, on a closing basis to the downside, we likely see another drive of bearish divergence in play here. Again, bearish divergence on the RSI is identified by lower highs on the RSI while price action is printing higher highs. So that is something to be very aware of. We did actually get one previous drive of that right here. And I'll blow up RSI here real quick just to give you a better understanding here. So look at RSI. Here's your top right here, right? This was our last previous all-time high here. And so we got a high on RSI, right? Here's your high on price action, followed by a low, and then boom, we see RSI prints a lower high, but what does price action do? Price action prints a higher high, right? Price action goes to all-time highs. We get that bearish divergence arrow, boom. We got that bearish divergence to play out, and now look what we have in formation, right? We have this another higher high, another new all-time high, right? And we do see RSI looking like it might want to try and attempt to put in another lower high, and that would be indicative of more bearish divergence potentially playing out. And I would look for a target to the downside if we get that confirmation, at the very least, to that yellow 21 exponential here. But again, until I see that yellow 21 exponential break, I'm not going to be looking for more significant pull downs than that until proven otherwise here. And quite the contrary, obviously, if we see this resistance here taken out on a daily candle closure basis, I'll still be looking for extension towards that one spot 272. It could be quick, it could not be quick. You never know. Depends. It all depends. There's no crystal ball for this kind of stuff. I can't give you guys like timelines of when things are going to hit specific targets. All I know is that the potential is much more likely to the upside if we see a new all-time high here. For now, we got a little bit of resistance. I do think from an RSI perspective, a little bit of a pullback is warranted in my opinion. Maybe on the shorter term time frames here, yeah, shorter term time frames, 4 hours printing a top region here after printing that new all-time high. Still holding that 21 exponential, so I am curious to see how this continues to play out coming into Monday's open here, and I think that's kind of where I'm going to leave that one though. But on the contrary, we have different price action. Oh boy, what about SPY futures? Printing those new all-time highs. Yes, indeed. Absolutely fucking fantastic here, right? Printing new all-time highs. We got that confirmation of support above the breakout region, right? We got this candlestick closure above the prior all-time high resistance, right? That was your first signal. Hey, we have something, right? This candle closure is confirmation. We saw a little bit of a back test to test this as support. It held as support and continued onwards and upwards. My next target is the one spot 272 Fibonacci extension, somewhere around 45,000. Jesus, what the fuck? 4530, not 45,000. Holy crap! I'd buy this shit right now if it was going to 45,000. But 4530 would be the next target, in my opinion, for this price action here. Again, we do have new tentative support, so I am convinced that the price action moving to the upside is more likely at this point in time. That and in confluence with price action still remaining above that 21 exponential, very, very, very powerful here. I have no reason to think price action is coming to the downside. This is proof of consolidation coming to an end here. We do see stochastics curling back, continuing its curl onwards and upwards to new highs. New highs confirmed from a stochastics perspective here. I do like that. Bullish critical zone, absolutely beautiful. Nice little bounce off the bottom side of the bullish control zone here for the RSI, crossing back above that exponential. Do we have a positively sloped? Yeah, we have a positively sloped exponential here. But again, look at the RSI here. And very fortunate that this wasn't called as a top here because, technically, if I was looking at this region here, I would have considered this a top, right? And we didn't get that top call here, which means we didn't get any bearish divergence call, but we do need to be on the lookout for potential bearish divergence, right? If we see a top being put in on new all-time highs with a lower high here, I will look for bearish divergence to potentially start playing out to the downside on the daily. But more or less, from a long-term perspective, we're still vastly bullish within the SPY futures market here. And again, no reason whatsoever, in my opinion, to be looking for any kind of bearish activity until proven otherwise. What would be that proof otherwise? Again, I'm using one simple strategy because it's easy. It's simple, right? The 21 exponential strategy is a strategy that I'm using. I'm going to be looking for a confirmation open and closure below that 21 exponential if I'm going to be looking for downside price action movements here. And if we do see that condition being met, oh, Golden Owens 13 says, what's up? Hey, what's going on? Thanks for watching the stream, man. Appreciate you being here. It's beginning. Yeah, yep. Okay, cool. welcome. Thanks for being here, bro. Absolutely appreciate it. I have somebody watching. That's pretty awesome. But back to it here. Again, the main condition that I'm looking for as far as, significant pullbacks to the downside is that open and closure below the 21 exponential here. And if that condition is met at any given point, I will be looking for a pullback to this region. So long as the yellow 21 remains at this level here, that's kind of the target that I'd be looking for if we got that confirmation below the 21. But again, we're vastly, we're well and far away from that point at the current moment in time, and I have no reason to be bearish at all whatsoever on this price action. One spot 272 is the next target in my opinion. So that's kind of where I'm gonna leave SPY futures here. Dow Jones, new all-time highs, about fucking time. So this one's a little bit different because I'm looking for confirmation now. Yes, we do have a break of resistance here. We finally saw that resistance ceiling break to new all-time highs. Now what I'm looking for is either a continuation candle or a back test and a closure, a second candle closure above this region to confirm it as support right around the $35,170 region. Looking at stochastics, nice little cross up, a little bit of a, like a little bit of, a little weaker cross up in my opinion, but a cross up is a cross up. This still remains in bullish control right now. RSI curling back up. Nice little uptrend formation here, forcing the exponential back to a positive slope. I want to see continuation, to be quite honest with you, because SPY futures and Nasdaq, or not, SPY futures and Dow Jones could do the same thing that Nasdaq is doing. Printing new all-time highs and then falling right below that resistance. Except for SPY, actually. SPY's a laggard because we got that confirmation of support here, right? Dow Jones, we only have one candle above, so I'll be looking for another candle above, like continuation or a back test with a secondary closure above there to confirm support. Or it's likely that, we see it perform the same way Nasdaq did with a sharp decline, just back below that new tentative support here. But again, vastly bullish. Even if that happens, even if we see a little bit of a pullback, it wouldn't be out of the question to see a pullback because, once again, anytime I look for, anytime I see all-time highs, I'm always like, all right, there's bound to be a pullback at some point, right? It's a new all-time high. Someone's going to be taking profits. People are going to be taking profits on those new all-time highs. But again, so long as we're above that 21 exponential here, I have no reason to be looking at this from a bearish perspective. If we do, again, take out the yellow 21 exponential with an open and closure, I'll be looking at this red line of support here to be the next target to the downside, somewhere around, what's that number? 34,450. We'll just round it. 34,450 would be the target, in my opinion, to the downside. Again, if the condition of the L21 breaking is met. However, everything's ship-shape for continuation, in my opinion. Pretty much all of them, including Nasdaq. Can you show me how your strategy? Okay, so Golden Owens 13 says, can you tell me how your strategy works? So, okay. Let's go to a blank chart, right? Let's go to a blank chart here. And let's find some good examples. I want one with some good examples. Maybe we'll just go to a blank Bitcoin chart, right? Yeah, we'll clear everything off of this bad boy here. All right, so how the 21 exponential moving average strategy works, right? You can just use it blind, right? You can use this blind. There is, there is potential for it to have major success over time, even if you trade it blindly, right? So what we're looking for here, right? And actually a perfect example is right here. We'll go ahead and lay out a couple of levels. Where's my horizontals, right? Here's a good level to pay attention to here. And this level here. Boom. Okay. So basically what you're looking for on the 21 exponential moving average strategy, right? You want to see a break. And this is where, you can come at this from two different approaches. You can come at it from an aggressive approach, or you can come at it from a conservative approach. I prefer the conservative approach because I always look for confirmation that the move is legitimate before I enter a trade. It allows me to manage my risk better, and it gives me more confidence in the move if I see confirmation, right? So what you're looking for, obviously we got this low here that kind of psyched me out when it did happen. Print this new low here on Bitcoin, and then we got a nice reaction, right? And what we're looking for is for a candle body to break the 21 exponential, right? And we get this closure above the 21 exponential here, right? We get that, we say, all right, warning shot fired, right? We have a potential long position in formation here. What we're looking for after that is the confirmation candlestick, right? Because we could easily see this price action here break the 21 and fall right back down below the 21, right? That's why I always look for confirmation. So pretty much how it works, you look for the break, you say, all right, there's your warning shot, and then you wait for the following day's candle closure. If you see the following day's candle closure close above, right, you see it open and close above the 21 exponential, boom, that's your entry, right? And you know, just to give you a little bit of a taste of percentage here, you know, from entry to top, that's a 23, almost a 24% move to the upside. Now, obviously that plays in confluence with a couple of other indicators, and obviously you got some horizontal support and resistance here. I looked at this as a little bit of resistance. I didn't think it was going to be bearish upon this region, but you know, ride this move to the upside, boom, you see your first sign of resistance. You're not looking to short here because we technically are trying to look for an uptrend, right? That's kind of, you know, what that was the overall disposition of the market when we saw this move, is start looking for an uptrend. So I'm not looking to short on this resistance here. What I'm actually looking to do is to nurture the position that I already have open, okay? So we got this resistance. What is my target? My target's the 21 exponential, right? I'm looking to add to my position at the 21 exponential. So here could be a take profit zone. Let me go ahead. You could have saw this region here, which is in confluence, actually. This resistance here is in confluence with a major resistance level anyway. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we already had 3 prior touches of this region confirming it as resistance, right? So this horizontal should have already been plotted on your chart. You get the 21 exponential break, right? You add a position, right? You open a position and then you take profit here, right? You take, you know, like a third of your position off, take some of that profit off the table. Try not to leave money on the table. And then you see this confirm support along the 21 exponential. You add here, which is exactly what I did. I added upon the back test of the L21 exponential, which also confirmed a higher low, which gave me the disposition that potential continuation to new highs was more likely than potential continuation to the downside. So I added on the 21 exponential. Didn't take profit here because I was looking for this region to break. Where's my next take profit level? 46, right? Somewhere in this region right here. No, it's a little higher, actually. Right here. Yeah, about 46.5 is my my next region, and I got it based off of this region here. You technically could throw in a couple of extra take profit zones right here, but you know, it's very rudimentary. It's very simple in my opinion. You're paying attention to one moving average. You get open and closure above it. You add, right, and you're not looking to close that position until you get a confirmation open and closure below. Let's look for a couple of examples in the past of that, right? So here's actually a really and it doesn't work, right? It doesn't work 100% of the time. I do want to make that very, very aware. It doesn't work 100% of the time, but if you trade this strategy and stick to the trading fundamentals of this strategy here, it is, I think it's a 70%, 78% hit rate. So it is proven that the 21 exponential moving average strategy is more profitable over time than not. And there's plenty of examples of how that works. Let's go ahead and look for an example of where you should have closed, right? All right, so yeah, here's, you know, let's go to the 2020, right? Let's go to the 2017 blow off top, right? Here's an excellent entry right here. There's a couple of fake outs, and again, it's not a perfect strategy. Nothing is ever perfect, but you know, with a couple of other indicators, you could have looked at this low and said, all right, this is a higher low. There's no reason to pull out, or you could have pulled out and waited for confirmation back above it. But here you go. Here's your break, right? Here's your break. That's not confirmation. We're looking for the second candle above, right? We're looking for the second candle above. So you got your break right here. And even if it's a red candle, as long as it's above the 21 exponential, you have yourself a buy signal right here. This will be your entry, right? And pretty much, you know, oh crap, I'm all screwed up right now. And pretty much you hold that position, manage your risk, take profit, add and subtract, yada, 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 all the way up until you get your first open and closure below. This isn't your open and closure here. This is your first break. This is your warning shot. This candle here, confirming the 21 exponential as resistance, open and closure below, is your exit point. And we'll go ahead and take a little bit of a measurement from entry to exit to show you how profitable this could have potentially been. Even if you just left it alone, even if you just left it alone, you're looking at 255% right there. Very amazing strategy. Now, obviously, you have to be aware of fake outs. You have to be aware of traps because those are possible. Because you got this this little bit of a trap here that if you entered on, you would have got Shrek'd on, right? You would have got Shrek'd on it, and you would have actually taken a loss. And then right here, once again, you got one can. Well, technically, you could have profited on this, but you would have had to know where the resistance was, right? And given the resistance that was here. You could have made a profit off of this region here. Enter at this candle right here, this this dragonfly style candle, and you could have made a little bit of a quick profit, right? It can be a short-term strategy or a long-term strategy. It all depends on the market phase, what the market is doing. Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Is it a downtrend? Is it uptrend? You gotta pay attention to the underlying market conditions to get a better understanding. But here's a perfect entry for a short, right? You got your first break below the 21 exponential. You get your open and closure below the 21 exponential, followed by an absolute rip to the downside. But you don't exit, technically, until this region, right? Confirmation, open and closure, above, you would have made 31%. Now, obviously, taking profits along the way, you could have easily made huge profits. On the major low here, but that's generally how the 21 exponential moving average strategy works. Again, it doesn't always work. You got to remember that it doesn't always work. That's why paying attention to the market conditions is so important, right? And especially from a bearish perspective, this is a bear market right here, and that during a bear market, the 21 exponential moving average strategy is likely to show you that fake outs are likely to appear on price action during the bearish market phase. Obviously, this nice little double top formation was a perfect one. After price action hit them $6,800 lows, ripped back up to the upside, started taking out resistances. People got excited, and then boom, shorts took over, and then people got excited again here, right? Now, obviously, these positions are profitable, but in a bearish market, you got to be careful, right? You got to manage your risk. You got to make sure you're managing your positions, because you can easily get faked out real quick and take a break even trade or even take a loss on a trade. So that's pretty much the brunt of the strategy. Obviously, works very well in confluence with other indicators such as stochastics and RSI, which I have right here. Here's your break, right? Here's your confirmation, and beautiful buy signal on the stochastics from this region here, roughly right here, seeing continuation deeper into the bearish control zone from a stochastics perspective. That's your tell that the momentum is gaining, right? The momentum is big, the momentum is real. There is agreement in the market. This isn't a fake move, and so far it's been proven that it's not a fake move. We do have a bullish uptrend in formation right now, basically telling me that the 21 exponential strategy is the right strategy to be on right now. RSI, another decent indicator from an aggressive standpoint. Yes, you can enter as soon as you see the break, especially when you get that low confirmation on the caretaker RSI here, and then boom, just an absolute rip to the upside. And as so long as Bitcoin remains above the 21 exponential, I'm not gonna close my position. Now, seeing these new highs printing, yeah, I'll look to take profits and wait for pullbacks to add to the position until proven otherwise, right? And just stair step your positions along the way. Add when you can add when the price drops, as long as price doesn't drop below the 21, and take profits every time price hits a specific level. That's pretty much it. Two candle closures above, buy. 2 candle closures below, sell. And then manage your risk along the way. That's pretty much layman terms, right? That's as simple as I can put that strategy. So I hope that helps you, man. I really do hope that helps you. But I think I'm going to go ahead and move on here. Let's go ahead and check out Dixie before I get into Bitcoin. And oh my goodness. Whoa. Absolute rip to the upside. This is no longer relevant. Absolute rip to the upside. Something like this you kind of have to already know that the next candle is going to open and close, right? The probability of seeing absolute capitulation from this point is rather low, in my opinion. Looking at stochastics here, got a nice little bounce again off that long-term trend line here, seeing continuation deeper into bearish control zone territory here. Looking to break it. Did we break it? Technically, stochastics has broken the top side of the bearish control zone, so a nice little read here, gaining some bullish momentum. Unless we see some kind of like black swan event where price action here just melts to the downside and takes out the open of this candle, I have no reason to think that this won't be a bullish uptrend, right? We got macro higher lows. Very, very powerful shit right here. Very, very powerful. Actually, I'm looking at this resistance to potentially break coming into Monday's open. This will be my next target to the upside here. Assuming that the condition that this resistance here breaks to the upside and confirms the support, this will be my next target here. 92 spot 97-ish, give or take. That would be my next target. If we take that region out, I'm going to be looking at another test, another stab at this swing high here. And again, while I am a little bit excited about this price action right now, it is very exciting to see we have decent signals here that I will be covering until we take that high out. From a long-term perspective, I am not going to be bullish until we see an open and a closure above this resistance to confirm it as new tentative support. Do I think it's likely we see that? Yeah, I actually do think it's likely that we see that. Given the momentum that is being provided on the charts here. For this market here, RSI, boom, boom. This is what I was looking for. This is the kind of momentum that I want to see after a break of that 50 read here, right? Got a break of that 50 read, nice boom, continuation as that signal takes, and then we see the exponential force back to a positive slope. We do have momentum here. We do have upside momentum. That's not my opinion. That is fact. We definitely have upside momentum. What is it? It says it's only a 0.6% move. Yeah. Well, I mean, in my opinion, that's a pretty powerful move for the U.S. dollar index here. I do like this move. I do believe there's momentum. I am going to be looking for continuation until proven otherwise. And the only thing at this point that would prove me otherwise is complete capitulation from this point all the way back below the 21 exponential here. That would be my tell that we have another lower high in formation, and the downtrend is likely to continue as such. But I think my disposition for this is going to be the upside. We didn't even see strong resistance at this point. We're actually right up to it right now, and nice little wick up. We don't see extreme bearish pressure forcing price action to the downside, which leads me to believe that maybe the bears are finally out of steam for this market. So it'll be very interesting to see this one coming into next week. I am actually very excited to see what it does, and it is a little weird seeing Dixie boom and then seeing other things boom at the same time. Again, it's not always perfect with U.S. dollar index, but traditionally, when I watch the U.S. dollar index, anytime I'm seeing USD index coming down, I'm going to be looking for things like Bitcoin to come up, Ethereum to come up, cryptocurrencies to come up, and a lot of the traditional stock market to come up. And anytime I see this market go up, I'm always looking for all of those markets to start coming down. But everything seems to be going green today, so anything can happen, everybody. Anything can happen at any time in this market, and it's absolutely exciting to see right now. I like this price action. It's going to be very interesting to see what this does next week. I think we're going to go ahead and move on. Check out the Hall of Fame real quick. Yeah, nice little consolidation phase happening right now on the lows. I'm still convinced that we're going to see price action come all the way down to this region, although we do have a buy signal on the stochastics with the exponential and the stochastics back above that critical 20 read into the bearish control zone. However, I do not see conflicting price action that convinces me that a confident position is to occur here. We're actually seeing a little bit of a reversal style candlestick close just on this support level here. So with that condition being met, yes, a little bit of a drive to the upside is warranted, in my opinion, all the way up to the $3 region. However, Stochastics is the one that or not stochastics, excuse me, RSI is the one that I'm kind of paying attention to here, seeing, you know, this coiling action, right, continuously rejecting the negatively sloped exponential, putting a lot of pressure here on the top side of the bearish control zone. Very, very concerning for this market. And again, until I see that 21 exponential taken out with a candle body closure, or excuse me, a candle body open and closure above the 21 exponential, I am going to be convinced that downside is the main disposition for the Hall of Fame. Again, we do have support here. We do have support, but this new low here didn't react like Bitcoin, right? This one didn't react like Bitcoin. This one didn't print a new low and then just say, nope, bulls, boom. No, this one's consolidating a little bit, rejecting the 21, rejecting specific key levels here, finding real soft support on very, very, very low momentum, in my opinion here. So again, in my opinion, the bears have full control of this market right now, and until proven otherwise, my target to the downside will remain this region here at $2.50. We'll just call it $2.60 until proven otherwise. That's going to be my disposition. Now, if we do see an open and closure back above the 21, I'm going to be looking for specific levels to be tested and taken out. This one being the first level here, somewhere around $3.40, and the next level being $3.76. Again, assuming the condition is met. Give me 1 second. I need a drink of water. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Down. I do think this one's a little bit bearish. But again, you know, even as I do this analysis, am I confident in my own analysis on this? No. No, I'm not. You know why? Because it doesn't have that much history, right? I don't even think this stock's a year old yet. Actually, it is. It's just over a year. It's 1 year and 1 month. So, you know, there is a little bit of confidence in it, but, you know, not as much confidence as something like, you know, Bitcoin or you know, Nasdaq or something that has years and years of historical relevance. But, you know, even with the confidence being low, it's still very tradable, in my opinion. You can still trade these signals and make some pretty decent profit. Again, another example of that 21 exponential strategy here. With that first break and then your confirmation below that 21 exponential, you know, you could have made a hefty penny upon entering right here on the open. And if you were still in this position, you'd be up 27% right now. I do not think that that's a bad move at all whatsoever as far as the 21 exponential strategy is concerned. So as far as I'm concerned, as long as we're below the 21, I'm going to be looking at the 21 to act as tentative resistance, forcing price action back to the downside. This is the only conflicting signal that I see. But again, I see this signal, but I do not see the market reacting to this signal, right? Anytime I see a cross, right, I want to see proof. I want to see boom. You know, I want to see some momentum in price action, confirming that this momentum is real. For now, in my opinion, it's not very real until proven otherwise. So that's going to be it for the Hall of Fame. Let's check out Mmat real quick. Let's actually bring up the comments here for requests. Okay, so Mmat, we'll just do a daily because I am interested in this one. Seeing a little bit of basis support here. Still holding this region as support, but again, vastly below that 21 exponential. You know, my disposition is still to the downside, and this one actually very, very telling here. Seeing the RSI, boop, back up to that exponential, rejected. I'm looking for downside movements here. Stochastics giving me a very beautiful signal. We do see a little bit of waning momentum here. However, still, we got that rejection of the bottom side of the bearish control zone here. That's telling me that the bear has absolutely maintained control in this market right now. And until proven otherwise, I'm looking for more downside targets. I'm actually going to be looking at this region to break to the downside unless a low is confirmed, a legitimate low, right? I want to see a low confirmed with continuation. That would provide the basis for a longer term uptrend, right? A macro uptrend, in my opinion. But this level has to hold. If we see this level break to the downside below $3.20, I will be looking for targets all the way down here. If I can line up my damn mouse, to $2.70. That would be my first look for price action on Mmat. However, if we confirm a low, I'm still not going to be convinced of anything until we break the 21 exponential with an open and closure. For now, a move up to this region, 375. Wouldn't be out of the question to see a little bit of a pump up, but again, momentum is definitely waning to the downside. It continues to move to the downside, giving me more of a bearish disposition on this one. So until I see the top side of this blue box here break, I'm not going to be looking for targets to the upside, and that's where I'm going to leave MMAT. Let's talk about AMC. Kind of the same thing. Yeah, we got a price action pump back up above this this critical region here. Backtesting it and confirming it as new tentative support, but again, momentum oscillator is pointing down. Maybe the short term has a little bit of momentum. Yeah, short term has a little bit of momentum to the upside, but the medium term, the daily, still looking pretty nasty here. Seeing that negative exponential act as new, current tentative resistance over and over and over again. And while price action continues to decline, RSI actually printing new lows on today's candle closure. So the momentum is down. Momentum is definitely down in this one, in my opinion. And until we take out the 21 exponential here with an open and closure, I will not be looking for targets to the upside. For now, I'm actually going to be looking for consolidation. Consolidation is kind of what's on the board for right now after seeing this heinous move to the downside. It'll be interesting to see what price action does over the next few days coming into next week here. But again, a break back below this region, I'm going to be looking for this. For $15 to be a new tentative target, especially if I see momentum oscillators continue down with stochastics breaking into the bearish critical zone and RSI breaking into the bearish critical zone would be a very, very, very telltale sign that the market agrees. The market agrees that they want to force AMC to the downside. If we do get an open and closure above the 21 exponential, this will be my first tentative target right around 43.60. If we take out 43.60. Sky's the limit, in my opinion. I would be looking for this high here to be tested first at 60.75. But again, I want to see momentum start curling up. The 4-hour isn't enough for me to be convinced that, this is going to be bullish again. A 4-hour low is not a daily low, and higher time frames take precedence over lower time frames. And since I trade the daily is telling me down. What is the weekly telling me? Weekly is telling me down. The weekly is telling me freaking down. Finding support on the 21 exponential here, but again, bearish divergence called on the weekly. Not good. I do not believe that bearish divergence has fully continued to play out. Look at the bearish divergence drive on this one right here, from top to bottom. Nice little 43% move, and if we want to use that relevance to map out potential for this bearish divergence, let's take it to 43%. 21.50 could be a potential move for this one. But if it goes 21.50 here, I think it'll be forced to a lower stature. Although we could see support being formulated here on the 50 read for RSI. I'm still looking down, man. I'm still looking down for this one, and until proven otherwise, that's going to be my disposition on AMC. I think it's going to wrap it up for those ones here. I'm going to do Bitcoin real quick, and then we'll head into the request. I am looking for continuation. I am absolutely fucking ecstatic about Bitcoin right now. I actually entered on the 21 exponential here, and I will not close my position at all whatsoever until I see a secondary open and closure below that region. Stochastics, absolutely powerful. Just barely dipped below the threshold into the bullish control zone here. I am going to consider this a rejection of the top side of the bullish control zone, forcing momentum back to the upside. This is a powerful read, in my opinion. Again, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, but the way that I'm trading this right now, I absolutely love being in this position, seeing this signal right now. I am very, very convinced that price action is going to be looking for continuation. We're actually seeing continuation after the break of this resistance here. Nice little back test confirming it as new tentative support right now. We do have plenty of time left in Friday, and I wonder what the weekend price action is going to be like. I might actually get on here tomorrow and Sunday and update you guys with a little bit of a short live stream here covering a couple of assets related to cryptocurrencies, but I'm very interested to watch this price action all weekend here to see how it reacts. I wonder if we're just going to see a little bit of a pullback and another higher low, or if we're just going to boom right through the tops or bottom side of this box region here. However, the way my position is set up right now, I am looking for a take profit right here at 40. No. Right here is my take profit. Right here is my take profit. Maybe I should adjust that. Maybe I should adjust it to this region here at 45,000. I would be looking at 45,000 based off my entry to be the first to take profit zone here. However, this is my goal. This is my target, right? This is where I want price action to go here. Seeing this candle closure confirm this region as support, I am going to be looking for extension all the way up to this region here, and maybe even a break through this region right around 44,850 as the next few days roll on through until proven otherwise. Now, even if we get a top here, I'm still going to be on higher low alert until proven otherwise. We do have a significant level here. Boom. And, that's how I'm managing my risk here. Just in case you missed it, Golden Owens, basically, as price action moves up, I always adjust my, my risk, always 2% below the exponential here. And I always have to make it boomy, right? Zoom in all the freaking way, because it's so sensitive, right? 2%. That's my stop loss right there. That's my stop loss at the current. 2% below the top of the exponential would be my risk management point. And as the exponential increases, my stop loss also increases as well. Yesterday, the exponential was here along this region, and I went 2% below that region. So you can see as the days go on, as the 21 exponential increases, my stop loss also increases with that. And at some point, if the market continues, right? If the market continues to see price action continuation, my stop loss will continue to go up and up and up and up until overall my stop loss is in the profit zone. But I never want to go off the lows, right? I want to stick with the exponential here because we could see sharp declines that test specific supports, and if I put my stop loss on the low, then I'm looking at a potential to lose out on the position. Here's a perfect example here where we saw a nice stab all the way through this low here, but we saw price action get supported off that 21 exponential, and boom, continuation to the upside. So my disposition is to the upside. RSI continuing closer and closer towards the bottom side of the bullish control zone. It'll be very juicy to see that enter the bullish control zone. I'll be very excited, but that's going to be my disposition. Up is where I'm looking here. Let's go ahead and knock out these requests real quick. I do want to hop off of here quicker than normal. Timber, TMBR, Corey wants short term. So we'll do the hourly and the 4 hour. All right. So we got a daily candle closure above the 21 exponential. Let's see how the 4 hour is doing right now. Yeah, 4 hour tells me continuation. I would be looking for continuation all the way up to a buck, about $1.03. First and foremost, before looking for any continuation targets further up. We do see stochastics here continuing on, bouncing off the top side of the bearish control zone, and boom, lift off, right? We do see RSI continuing its uptrend, getting closer and closer to that 50 read. If we see the 4 hour break above that 50 read with positive price action, I would look at that as a very good signal for a buy position. Again, that's based off the 4 hour time frame here. Let's go ahead and check out the 1 hour, see what it's doing. There's a good hourly read here, forcing the exponential back to a positive slope with a very beautiful buy signal above that 50 read here. I am going to be looking for continuation on the hourly, same level. $1.03 is going to be my first region to look for on the shorter term time frames. Next region, I'm going to need the 4 hour to identify. Damn, that's going to be a specific critical level here. $1.13. If we see this resistance taken out and confirm this support, $1.13 is going to be my next tentative target for price action here. I think that's a big percent, right? That's a big percentage gainer. Yeah, it's 10%. Jeez. Jeez. 10 cents, 10%, right? That's pretty awesome. But yeah, that's kind of my disposition on the short-term time frames. I am more interested in the daily, though. Seeing stochastics continue to the upside here, bullish momentum confirmed. Coming off the lows, printing a higher low right here. We do have an uptrend, right? Do we? Here's our high. Yeah. Here's your low. Here's your high. Here's your higher low. here's a new high. So an uptrend is confirmed, in my opinion, on the daily chart right now, and we got a candle closure above the 21 exponential. It'll be very juicy, in my opinion, to pay attention to the next day's candle closure. I do believe coming into Monday here, I will be looking for an open and closure on this region, and if we do get an open and closure up above the 21 exponential, I think $1.13 is going to be the next tentative target for this price action here, and things are going to get really interesting, in my opinion, for this price action. You know, it's been in a bear market, been in a downtrend for quite some time now after this blow off top, so it'd be interesting to see this start, you know, curling around. That and more to the point, we could have a macro high or low in formation and being confirmed at the current moment in time, putting in a nice little uptrend structure here for price action. Again, when in doubt, pull out. When in doubt, pull out. You know, major downtrend, you know, major just disgusting downtrend could be potentially forming into a macro long-term uptrend here. So very interesting indeed for timber here. We're going to go ahead and knock out the last one so I can go hang out with my lady. Piton. Short to medium. Looking for where to buy the dip. Short to medium. All right, so we're going to do 1 hour, 4 hour daily. Short to medium. I'm going to clear this chart. I'm going to start anew. Start a new chart. Boom. Consolidation. That's it. Thanks for being here, guys. No, I'm just kidding. This actually does look like it wants to curl over. I'm not gonna be lying to you. Here's the level that I'm paying attention to the most, and more to the point, we have a change of behavior on the daily right now. So not looking really good. Do we have a downtrend? This would actually be the low that I'd be more confident with calling a change of behavior here. But you know, considering that we have a low here, and you know, a high and then a low, and then a new low. You know, downside price action is my disposition right now. Looking where to buy the dip. I think you're, in my opinion, I think you're past that point, man. I'm gonna have to look at this one for a minute. Right now, it's weekly consolidation, for sure. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it's consolidating, my man. But what's more concerning here is the rejection of the critical zone on a stochastics from a weekly perspective here. That goes into play of longer term momentum, putting in a lower high on the weekly. Not the pinnacle of health and fitness, in my opinion. RSI consolidation. You know, putting a lower high here. Again, not the pinnacle of health and fitness on the weekly. What is 2-day breaking the 21 exponential? Not a good signal. 24 hour. Yeah, that's your first open and closure. No, it's not. No, it's not. From a daily perspective, I would wait for the open and closure below the 21. If we open and close to Monday's candle below the 21, I'm going to be looking for price action to take this low out here, about 110 bucks. I'll be looking for price action to decimate this level. Where is price action now? Nice little support level here. Broken. It's broken. Depends on how you look at it. But I'm going to go with the higher one and say that this one's potentially broken right now, and I am going to be looking for continuation to the downside, unless we see some kind of like shoot to the upside. And see, this is where I want to wait for confirmation. This is why I want to wait for confirmation, because we only have our first break of the 21 exponential here. It's actually been consolidating on the 21, up and down below it, up above it, down below it for a couple of days now. More than a couple of days, and now we finally got that boom, that momentous break to the downside. Stochastics giving you a decent signal here. Lower high confirmed. Downtrend, or not downtrend, downside momentum initiated. We do have a little bit of a 2-point structure here to be very aware of here. I think things will be nasty if we take out this trend line here instead of using it as support. But we do see a break below the bullish control zone into the neutral zone. So the new market is more or less neutral at the current moment in time. RSI looking weak. It's getting weaker and weaker. It's putting more pressure and more pressure on that 50 read. Where to buy the dip, man, I don't know. If this decides to turn over, I'm actually just going to be looking for targets to the downside until I get confirmation of a low. That's what I would be looking for, is if this decides to just shoot straight through to this region here at 98 bucks, look for a low. And that'll be your tell that you know, maybe it's time to look for a little bit of a dip buy. However, if we get a change of behavior below this region, bear market, bearish until a low is confirmed, and then, you know, price action moving to the upside. This one's weird, you know, this one's a little confusing. We're seeing price action, you know, really coming to the downside. It really makes me think the downside is the next likely move for this one, especially with that closure below the 21 exponential here. And if we get a second open and closure below it, maybe we get a bounce here at $109 bucks, 109.70. But I would be looking for price action to come back up, test the 21 exponential, and reject it once again. Especially if we see price action take out 109.70. It's going to be very nasty, in my opinion, to the downside if that condition is met. This does look like it's starting to curl over a little bit, so be cautious. Be aware of price action and what it's doing. Be aware of your levels. Those are my levels. It's particularly not my favorite looking stock right now. Again, if it gives me that iffy feeling where my brain is telling me I don't really know, then I probably won't be trading it. I don't know where the buy the dip location would be, because at the end of the day, I do think buy the dip times are over. This was the dip here all the way down at 80 bucks, and then boom. You know, if we're looking for the next dip, you know, I would have to say, you know, best case scenario, in my opinion, $99 would be that dippy area. We got a major support region here. Has a lot of touch points for confluence here, and we are remaining above that region. If we take out 98 bucks, to the downside that I'm looking. But the momentum is to the downside, so my disposition is, you know, a little bit more downside unless proven otherwise. We have the break of the 21. We get a second candle closure below that 21. That'll be a telltale sign from my perspective to go ahead and enter in a short position. So that's kind of how I'm looking at that one, and that's I think that's going to wrap it up for the stream, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. If you guys like the channel, if you guys like the content and you want more content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell. Support your brother on the road to 1,000 subscribers, that 1K milestone for the Black Fire Technical Analysis YouTube channel. And if you haven't had the opportunity, if you are in the Blackfire Technical Analysis YouTube channel and you haven't had the opportunity to check out the Facebook group, please go ahead and do so. We have a plethora of content there as well as a very active technical analysis study group chat where we just, you know, bullshit, throw technicals at each other, talk about market conditions, to talk about, you know, basically anything market related or finance related. So check it out if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, thanks for being here. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy.